McDowell Outdoor Radio, iHeartMedia, and Fox Sports. I'm here with Doug, our guy up in St. George, Utah, that does our newsletter every week. We've got a tremendous newsletter this week, Doug. Great job. Let's run down what's happening.
Well, yeah, we do have a lot to talk about. Our opening or our featured story is all about the Grand Canyon. We got a couple of things to talk about the Grand Canyon. The local tribes in this area hosted a press conference in conjunction with Congressman Raul Grijalva and Senator Kristen Sinema to call upon the president to establish our nation's newest national monument. And I'll tell you the truth, I cannot pronounce this thing. I have no idea. I know what it means, but
yeah, what it equates to, it rhymes with manure. Okay.
yeah, it sure do. But at any rate, right now, I think it's 1.1 million acres of public land adjacent to the Grand Canyon National Park.
We don't need this.
Yeah, no, we don't. But at any rate, that's what's going on. I think, as far as I know, it's on the president's desk. It hasn't been initiated yet.
Well, this is very typical. I'm a little surprised to see Sinema in there. She'll get a call. But Raul Grijalva, this is what he does. He's headquartered out of Tucson. He can't take care of his own district. He spends the bulk of his time playing patty cake with the Indian tribes, getting them fired up on the monumentization of this, that, and the other thing. It's not bad enough. They have their tribal nations. I get it. They're certainly entitled to that. And then the BIA, Bureau of Indian Affairs, budgets, and so on and so forth. And it just seems to me like Raul Grijalva needs to be unseated. Absolutely. This guy's been a train wreck in Arizona. And you go back and you look at his drinking and partying and carrying on with, doing what he does. He's so typical. But my point is, he's in Tucson.
Yeah.
And he's got this relation. He needs to go live on an Indian tribe, a reservation, and get the hell out of Tucson. This guy's a train wreck. He needs to be unseated. And the other thing is, being born and raised in Flagstaff, I spent a lot of time on the Navajo and the Hopi Reservation growing up. And as this thing turns out, they can't take care of what they have. They don't need any more in their name. It seems like, every place they take a squirt, that becomes sacred land. This needs to stop. So thanks for getting me on my soapbox. And Grijalva, here's my phone number. Call me. Yeah, this guy is just what a jackass.
Well, to add insult to injury, all right. Along the realm of the Grand Canyon, let me find it here first. Holy smokes, there's so much. There is a mine up there they're gonna reactivate, and this mine they're looking to put back into production sometime in 2023 this year, and it's called the Pinyon Plain Mine.
Yes, sir.
Formerly the Canyon Mine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is south of the South Rim, but nonetheless, this is despite, you mentioned that 20-year moratorium. This is despite that 20-year moratorium placed on uranium mining in the Grand Canyon region. So, exactly... gosh, hold on a second here. I got to get caught up with this thing. The listing comes on the heels of a November 14th announcement that a recent trade deal provided Energy Fuels with $120 million in cash that would be used to finance plans that could include ramping up uranium production at the Pinyon Plain Mine.
Yeah.
So, what's actually going on here? It's got to do with the Russian-Ukrainian conflict of sorts.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I don't get this. But at any rate, that's the Grand Canyon is being nailed. Let's put it
Well, that moratorium, if I'm not mistaken, that was a 20-year moratorium on brand new mines of most any type, specifically to block new uranium mines in, around, or near the Grand Canyon. That started in an interim ban in 2009, and then consequent to that was the 20-year moratorium. That said, our arch enemy, the Center for Biological Diversity, always has an opinion. They had one, Northern Arizona University, known as Berkeley North, has an opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, that's absolutely meaningless. We live in a 2009. Fast forward to present time. We are in a pivotal sense of danger with Russia, with China, with the UAE, Iraq, and all the crap that's going on in the Middle East worldwide, because we have the weakest administration that we've ever had, Joe Biden. We have a partnership with China and Russia. We have a partnership with the UAE, the Saudis, and the mullets over in Iran. This is not a safe time. This is not a safe time. And if there was any other time other than right now, I'd say, yeah, okay, we don't need that. They need to beef up the nukes, because that's what it's coming down to. That's what we're facing. We have the threat of low-grade, low-yield tactical nukes in Ukraine being threatened by Putin. He's been doing that since day one or before that. And we don't know what that's going to turn into. We've got a weak United Nations. We've got a weak NATO. We pay the bills. The European Union is weak. And Grijalva wants another monument. He needs to read the news and figure out what the hell's going on. Stay out of this. Forget about he needs to clean up his own area. He needs to take a look around Tucson and clean that crap up down there. So anyway, thank you, Doug. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Around the country, buddy, there is in Idaho now a yellow banana trout stocking going on. Interesting looking fish. Never seen one before.
I've never even heard of a yellow banana trout.
Well, there it is in view, picture of them. Interesting, just interesting stuff. In North Dakota, a third consecutive record count of bighorn sheep up in that state.
Whoa!
They're growing like wildfire up there. So
that's good.
If you're a hunter, pay attention to that. Good news there. Wyoming. The Game and Fish Commission has approved 2023 hunting seasons. Now, this is important only because there's a lot of people out of state that hunt in Wyoming. So click the link, find out what's going on. Might apply to you. Let's see. Interesting stuff. Let's look. You've heard of the company that makes these live target baits.
Oh, yeah. Quite familiar with them.
Yes, and this time they've come up with something I think is just incredible in a minnow-looking type bait. Just looks great. I got to get some of these. No matter what you're fishing for, this is a good-looking bait to me, but that's just me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It's the
It is.
live target, slow roll shiner. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I got to get up to. We don't, down here we don't have much in the way of. When I say down here, actually, in St. George, Utah, there isn't a whole lot to offer as far as outdoor stores are concerned. But I'm going to check it out. Hey, let's. This is really cool. I also ran across a greatest boat ramp tip you'll ever see, and the secret to successfully backing up a boat trailer when you're there. The long and the short of it is, when you're backing up and you're on the grade, don't leave it in reverse. Put it in neutral and let the weight of the boat and the car, take you down. Don't add more thrust by having it in reverse. So that just made sense to me.
I thought everybody knew that.
I don't know. I've never done that. I think that's a great thing to do. Let's see what else we got here. That's not so interesting. Another great little article I found. It was a comparison between golden retrievers and Labrador retrievers. In other words, which hunting breed is the better? Now, you might prefer one over the other. I have a leaning towards Goldens, but this was an interesting thing. Several bullet points about the different breeds, the two different breeds that you might consider before getting another dog. And up in Idaho, the Fish and Game have proactively eliminated antlerless deer hunts. And I don't know the point of that, except for they want their herds to get bigger, I guess. But at any rate, that's what's going on there. And this was amazing to me. There is a shooting team with individuals by the name of Jacqueline and Shane Bryan that had a 2.4-mile record shot.
Good
This was
grief.
4,227 yards. This was during a competition, and obviously they won the competition. But that is amazing, and there's a great video out there of all this. So not only she's a good-looking girl, and she knows how to use that weapon. Whataburger is sponsoring a Bassmasters event at Lay Lake. That's in Alabama.
A Whataburger? Of course it is.
Yes. In Louisiana, you can fish a tournament that will give you, in case you get the biggest fish, $100,000. Whoa.
I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. I thought you'd get a certificate for a Whopper with cheese.
No, this is a different tournament, Don.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the top prize is $100,000. But if you get a big bass in that, you get another $100,000. So how about that if you win the tournament?
Crazy.
I know. That's a lot of money floating around these days. Let's review Lake Powell and Lake Mead. If you go to those charts, you can see, and it makes sense, there's a slight upturn in both those water levels, obviously because of runoff. Now, again, the comments I've heard over the last 2 weeks is, yes, there would be a slight turn up, but it won't be enough to make a dent in the wall. It just won't be. So I'll tell you, that's about the end of the newsletter right there.
Wow. That's good stuff, guys. Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
A lot of soapbox material there moving into the week, especially with Mr. Gahalva.
Yes.
We're not on a first name basis, but let's just say he knows who I am. So
I'll bet he does.
Yeah. I don't get Christmas cards from him anymore.
Oh, shoot. Dang it.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on some of this. Once again, I'm really surprised at Cinema. Wow. Anyway, once a dim, always a dim. It's like a leopard. You can peel the spots off, but it's still a leopard. So, anyway,
right.
Just my 2 cents, the pragmatic view of the obvious. Sign up for the newsletter that does every week, huntingfishing.com. I'm Don McDowell with Doug, and we'll do this again next week.